A wonderful day to us out there. I'm Chief Robinson Ario, and once more speaking to you from the rich oil city of Warri, Delta State of Nigeria. In the past few hours, the call for the breakup of Nigeria has reached a feverish pitch, and we want to really sit down and look at the viability and look at the potency of such an approach to the Nigerian problem. And so I've titled this little talk, Which Way Do We Go? Break away or walk it out? Now, I elect right from the start to take the position that walking it out is the best and more mature thing to do. And that is because breaking away would involve the shedding of blood and the destruction of property. And it will really not solve any problem. It will only give rise to different variants of the same problem. Now, if we decide to work it out, how do we go about it? But let us first of all look at the fallacy of breaking away. Now, for the purpose of this idea of breaking away, let us understand that it is because of the instant problem that we have. First of all, may the soul of Deborah Samuel rest in peace. And may the soul of those like her who have died without justice also rest in peace. It is our hope that one day justice will be served. Let us take a look at the different kinds of sentiments we have in Nigeria, which also constitute equal intensity of problem to us in this country. Ethnic sentiment. Now, if you look at the three major tribes in Nigeria, each of them complains about marginalization. The Igbos complain that they are marginalized. The Yorubas complain that they are marginalized. And the Hausas also complain that they are marginalized. Not to talk about minority tribes like Ishekiri, Ijaw, Isoko, Urobo, Edo, and what have you. And the interesting thing is that from the perspective of each of these tribes, there are reasons, rationalities for their claim of being marginalized. For now, let us focus a little bit more on the religious sentiment as a basis for the agitation for breaking Nigeria. Now, those who agitate this way should be asked, is there a region between North and South where you have exclusive Christians and exclusive Muslims? The answer is no. So, a simple arithmetic. When you break Nigeria into North and South, let us assume that that were possible, and you did that, you will still find a good proportion of Muslims in the South. And it's not the case that the species of extremism that you have in the South is absent in that you have in the North is absent in the South. Indeed, I can recall my days in the University of Bafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, when there were some issues about about religious dissatisfaction, the manner of behavior, the reaction, so to say, of the different religious groups, you would discover was not radically at variance with what we are seeing. So right from the beginning, there has been this attitude by each of these religious groups to each other. Um, Unhealthy rivalry, so you would say. Now, if we establish that breaking Nigeria will not result in having Christians exclusively in the south and Muslims exclusively in the north, what that tells us is that even when we break Nigeria, that would not have eliminated the coexistence of thick Muslim population and thick Christian population living in the south. And so you will really not have solved the problem. So the strategy you intend to use to ensure that Muslims and Christians are able to coexist in the south will also be the same strategy that you ought to have deployed to ensure that Christians and Muslims are able to live in Nigeria. Now, let us take it a little bit uh, further. The same species or similar species of sentiment is ethnic or tribal sentiment. Now, almost all ethnic groups in Nigeria claim or allege that they are marginalized. The Igbos, for instance, have cried to the high heavens that they are being marginalized. Now, let us imagine that they are able to break away. Even within the Igbos, the issue of mutual suspicion amongst the different components that make up Igbo would also arise. Right from secondary school in those days, we learned of a particular set of people that are called the Osu caste. They are a minority group. Do not forget that it was because of size, number of Igbos in Nigeria in relation to the bigger ethnic groups that made for the agitation of breakaway. And so you now come to a situation where the breakaway still does not solve the problem. Let us come to Delta State. In Delta State, you have five different ethnic groups. You have the Ishekiris, the Ijos, the Urobos, the Isokos, and the Delta Northerners. Among these five ethnic groups, there are cries by some of the smaller ethnic groups that they are being marginalized. So if you were to split Nigeria into two, how have you been able to solve those problems? Now, let us even leave the larger groups within one ethnic group. For instance, if you take a particular ethnic group, there are different shades, there are different subsects within that ethnic group that complain of being marginalized. How do you solve such a problem? The truth of the matter is that man by nature has a predisposition to oppression, has a predisposition to um, cheating. And so you find that in Nigeria, you could have a deputy, a member of the Senate who is representing a particular senatorial district. And there may be as many as 8 local government council areas in that district. And what the man does is that he goes to Abuja and he uses the vote that has been given to him to influence and advocate for projects and benefits and entitlement for his senatorial district. Now, when these benefits come, what does he do? He ends up ensuring that everything is attracted to his compound, to his village, or to his clan, and thereby making the other people in the senatorial district claim that they are being marginalized. Whether that is real or imaginary is another thing. But one thing is clear from all that we have said, and that is that the agitation to be included in the benefits and entitlements of the country, whether it is exclusively north or exclusively south, whether it's even within a state, is a continuum. And so, our best approach to this issue is to go back to what we in development circle call multi-track diplomacy. The churches, the mosques have a role to play. Now, have we ever thought about it that why young men and women are being radicalized on a daily basis? Why huge resources is being plunged into radicalization? The government itself is doing absolutely nothing to ensure that some level of liberalism is preached, to ensure that there is a treatment of this virus that has different variants. And so for me, I think that the call for the breaking of Nigeria is born out more out of emotion than reason. For if you were to sit down and think about it very deeply, you'll be able to appreciate that breaking away does not solve the problem. Breaking away only creates a different variant of the problem. I want to enjoin us to take a second look at it, because I know it is a very volatile issue, but like I said, you cannot divide Nigeria on the basis or along the lines of religion. It is absolutely impossible. For example, if you have traveled to most parts of the southwest, you will know that there is a chunk of Muslims in that area. So, how do you now factor out those who are Muslims and shift them? And do not forget that even within the Islamic religion in Nigeria, there are some level of discrimination among them. There are those Muslims, perhaps from the south, that are not considered as real Muslim. But we're not going into all those. You see, we are first of all human beings before we are Christians, Muslims, or pagans. And even if we were to split, we cannot remove these people that you want to send away from the geographical area. They are going to be your neighbors, and boundary issues will keep on erupting. So it is better. Unfortunately, the government, both at the local, state, and federal, has not been doing any form of work. Now, let me give some ideas. One of which is that we could have a yearly national budget in which a particular percentage is allocated to communities, to states, to local governments that are able to promote religious and ethnic harmony to a particular degree as incentive for encouraging people to cohabit. Individuals who have done great work in the area of peaceful coexistence should be identified and also celebrated. We have to deliberately take steps to ensure that we are together. I do not believe that Nigeria is an accident. Nigeria, even if it were an accident, we are already here. We have a duty to work it out. Those who have seen wars before, those who have seen the process of severing one part of a country from the other before, do know that it is not all those who are alive when the process starts that will be alive to see the process consolidated. So I think we should give a second thought to this. And like I say, like I believe, change is a process, not an event. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you.